What's up? Welcome to the show. I'm Datalemon. Usually do Let's Play content, but let's get back into reaction stuff, shall we? Did you watch the Game Awards this year? I didn't. Did you watch them last year? I did, and it's part of the reason why I didn't watch them this year. So I was having my morning deuce and thought I'd look at some videos and found this from our, well, I want to be nice and say our friend at Legendary Drops. I don't know him personally, but he seems like a neat dude. And developers and fans are outraged by the Game Awards. And I was watching this and I was like, is he forgetting about something? So let's hear what he has to say.
This year's Game Awards were an embarrassment. While there's a ton of games that were shown off that got me really excited for the next couple of years, there's also a lot of developers that are outraged by how little time they had to even accept their awards in the first place, how little spotlight was given to the people that these awards were actually for. Now,
okay, I mean, let's be realistic here. They don't need a lot of time. They need some time, but they don't need a lot of time. Like, I'm going to show you in a minute. But yeah, they should have the chance to, hey, I really enjoyed working on this product or this project or whatever verbiage or noun you want to use. And I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the community, blah, 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 blah. And they shouldn't get rushed off the stage. And apparently that is not how it went down.
I realize that a lot of other people are already talking about this, but there's a lot of things that need to be said that aren't being said. And that's what we're going to do today. With numerous developers and industry observers expressing their dissatisfaction towards how the event was conducted, this year's Game Awards may go down as the worst one yet.
Dope.
The primary concern for both viewers and developers was the limited time that was allocated for award-winning developers to deliver their acceptance speeches. In many instances, developers were given less than 30 seconds to express their gratitude, talk about future projects, and show appreciation for their teams.
30 seconds? Holy shit. Like a good hard minute would have been all right?
Which by many was perceived as a lack of respect for the people that contributed to the industry that these awards were for. What makes matters worse is how...
Well, no, because the awards are actually to, what is his name? Jeff Keighley? It's actually just to fluff up his bank account.
How it starkly contrasted with the longer segments that were devoted to celebrity and promotional content. Haley Elise, via Twitter, conducted an analysis...
An hour, I almost said 100. An hour and 28 minutes devoted to trailers and ads, and that's not new this year. They did that last year too. It was, oh, we're gonna announce this game, but first, here's 5 ads, and then they announce the game, and then they're like, and then they do and now we present the award for, but first, an ad, and it's like, God, can we just move on, please?
Of the 2023 Game Awards airtime allocation, revealing that trailers and advertisers dominated the show.
10 minutes to winner speeches, 13.5 minutes to musical numbers, award presenters 26.5 minutes, other presenters 42.5 minutes. Who are these other presenters? If they're not if they're not involved with the actual award process, they really shouldn't be there. Or their time shouldn't be so long.
Taking up an hour and a half of the total runtime. In stark contrast, the total time that was given to winners amounted to about 10 minutes. That statistic is striking.
Okay, so when I first saw him say that, we're only a minute into his video. When I first heard him say that, I just kept thinking, does he not remember what happened last year? I think it was last year. Does he not remember what happened? Let me show you what happened. This is Christopher Judge winning Best Performance as Kratos. This is the full speech. Look how long it is. 9 minutes. And that's not a joke or an exaggeration. He actually did spend about 8.5 minutes. He actually did spend about 8.5 minutes talking. And giving these, like, platitudes. Here. We'll run him at double time.
Changed his life. Went to medical school and is now Dr. Judge. My children, who I am forever proud of, forever thankful of, and still the best role I've ever had is being your dad. Sony Santa Monica.
Okay, he's already past the 30-minute mark. I have it sped up, but he's already past that mark.
To work for you and with you.
That's why they did that. They overcorrected. They had this guy go up there and just talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk, and it mean practically nothing. And then, so this year, they're like, okay, we got to get that under wraps. We can't have people just kind of going on these really long speeches. We have a schedule to keep to. We have this and this and this. So we're gonna give them 30 seconds, and then we're gonna put on the sign, and then we're gonna play the music, and they're gonna have to get off the stage because we have a show to do. That is how I can imagine this problem came up, where it's like, oh shit, it doesn't feel like they gave the creators enough time. Well, they didn't, on purpose, because they gave the creators enough time before, and they took advantage of it. And I'm not saying he like maliciously was like, I'm gonna get up here, I'm gonna grandstand for 10 minutes and blah blah blah. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, like, you get caught up in the moment. You're like, I really want to say all the things that are on my mind and how grateful I am for this, and so you end up going over time. So I don't know. It sounds like the Game Awards problem is more like the desire to just fill it full of so much promotional material that it's almost draining to watch. Okay, so back to his video. I'd like
considering
to
that the overall length of the event was 3 hours. It should be noted as well that even non-English speaking award winners that had to use a translator weren't given enough time to give proper thanks, as we saw with the director of Legend of Zelda.
And they should have been given extra time because they need the time to talk to their translator, and then their translator talk to us.
The Tears of the Kingdom. Personally, I felt like there was an issue when Neil Newman, the voice actor for Astarion, went up to receive his award. It was obvious that he couldn't catch his breath. You could see how much he appreciated.
That's Christopher Judge right there.
The award and the moment. But it was immediately taken from him right when he wanted to talk about how supportive the Baldur's Gate 3 community had been over the time of the game's release. In response to this, Jeff...
And that sucks, because damn did he do a good job. Damn did everybody on that project do a fantastic job.
Keighley, the one that runs the Game Awards, responded by saying, by the way, I do agree that the music was played too fast for award winners this year, and I asked our team to relax the rule as the show went on. While no one was actually cut off, it's something to address going forward. But saying no one was cut off is a bit of a play on words. No, you didn't technically cut anybody's mic off, but in the middle of their speeches, you're flashing a sign saying, wrap it up. And then on top of that, you're also playing music over them while they're talking. I think the most egregious moment of all of this...
They're just like, hold on. I'm here, and I worked on Floppy Nuggets 2nd as the main character, and I really want to give my thanks to my family and everybody who worked on this. And I really want to say how much I enjoyed this project and making this content for you guys. And just, wow, how can I make it louder? Just everything in my heart goes out to how you got it. Oh god, that sucks.
This was actually when Sven Vinko went up to receive the Game of the Year award. Right in the middle of it, when he's trying to talk about how they lost one of their team members during development, they immediately start playing the music and flashing the sign.
Wow, how fucking disrespectful. Damn.
He didn't even get the opportunity to even make the announcement that the Xbox version of Baldur's Gate 3 was going to be dropping that day of the award show, which was one of the things that they'd been hinting on Twitter leading up to the event.
Had it on PC for like, I don't know, a really long time now.
Yeah, sitting back and thinking about it, with all of the advertisements and celebrity endorsements, my question I'm sitting here asking myself is...
That's what it was for. It was for the celebrities and the advertisements. So Jeff Keighley could do this all the way to the bank.
Who was this event for?
Hey, Jeff Keighley.
Like it was for the gamers, and it really didn't feel like it was for the developers. This year's event seemed to significantly diverge from what many would consider as the heart and soul of the occasion,
How uncomfortable was that to wear? How long did he wear that? Did he just put it on real quick before he ran up there, and then he took it off real quick afterwards because he was like, or did he actually sit down in that get-up?
Celebration and appreciation of the hard work and creativity of game developers. Instead, the event appeared more like a marketing blitz, prioritizing trailers of upcoming games and celebrity segments over
That was exactly what they did last year, and I didn't watch the one the year before that, but I'm sure I could and find evidence that it was the same way then too. Yes. That is the running commentary on the Game Awards, is like, there's no way that they're actually for awarding games because they barely do any of it, and then when they do, they fuck it up.
Actually acknowledging the contributions of those who create games in the first place, which then raises concerns about whether this event is truly serving its intended audience, or even if the Game Awards knows who that audience is. The gaming community and developers alike might expect the awards to have some sort of balance between upcoming titles and a stronger emphasis on recognizing and appreciating
Best community support: Baldur's Gate 3, Cyberpunk 2077. Yeah, Baldur's Gate 3 all the way. Or maybe No Man's Sky? No, not community. I don't know. No Man's Sky did really turn around.
the hard work that's been put in over the last year of games. We've come a long way from the days of the Game Awards being on Spike TV, treated as a way for Hollywood to make fun of the gaming community rather than...
That's right. I forgot it was on Spike TV at one point. Is Spike TV even a thing anymore? Like, I know, like, cable and satellite aren't what they used to be, but, like, is that channel still a thing?
Appreciate them.
Does Manster still play on it?
Medium. I realize that there's a desire from the developers to want to be recognized by the entertainment industry, but by focusing on spectacle...
Man, that guy was going fucking ham.
...and marketing over appreciating the people that actually make the industry what it is, it's not what the audience wants, nor is it what the developers deserve. For me, this year's Game Awards was meant to be something special, because this year it wasn't about live service games. Heck, most of the games that were up there didn't even have my...
Thank God that is finally dying as a genre. Live service games? No one likes them. Like... No, I don't want to play the same game for the rest of my life. You guys are crazy. No. I don't... And games take so long to play. Like, I don't want to play a game I really want to play and then go play a game I have to play to get some arbitrary markers. Fuck that.
Microtransactions. We're talking about a year of games that commanded respect in an industry that hasn't respected the player in God knows how long. This is a year that we got...
Say it again?
To the games that were up there didn't even have microtransactions. We're talking about a year of games that commanded respect in an industry that hasn't respected the player in God knows how long.
I would consider, and this is probably stretching the definition a little bit, but I would consider any form of DLC microtransactions because you've already paid for the base game. So Cyberpunk 2077, take it off of there. Because it does have the Phantom Liberty DLC. Destiny 2 has microtransactions. I know he's talking about all of the ones that were actually on for the Game Awards, but I'm just saying, for that list that I saw, like, no, God, no, what you're saying doesn't apply. It only applies to one of those games.
This is a year that we got...
Baldur's Gate is like the black sheep in a world full of game developers who are like, yeah, but we can just fix it after, or that are like, oh man, maybe they won't notice, maybe they won't notice, maybe they won't notice. Like, Baldur's Gate is like, nope, we're having none of that. We're going to be in early access for 2 years. We're going to get all of the bugs, like, as much as we can, kind of, like, evened out. And then we're going to stay active on the support side of that game. I don't...
Final Fantasy 16, Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, Alan Wake 2.
Baldur's Gate 3 is so good, guys.
Baldur's Gate 3, and the list goes on and on. A ton of these games could have been Game of the Year of their own right any other year if it wasn't for Baldur's Gate 3. However, with all of the marketing blitz and the celebrity endorsements, this year's Game Awards just kind of came off like a Call of Duty battle pass. Immersion-breaking crossovers, soulless marketing and entertainment, force-feeding us.
Again, they did that last year. They do that, I feel like, every year. It's not a this year specific thing. It really has happened pretty consistently. I don't remember a time when the Game Awards were, oh yeah, all about the game developer. No, they have always been like full commercial, full celebrity endorsement. We're gonna have all of the fluff, all the pomp, all the circumstance because we want it to be this big elevated thing. So no, I don't. The like hammering down on the point of like, oh man, this year, it's like, no man, just the Game Awards.
Every bit of engagement and marketing value they possibly can squeeze out of us, rather than it being a cherry on top to one of the best years we've seen in gaming in a long time. You know what?
It is up to us then. If the Game Awards is not going to satisfy that feeling for us, then it has to be the individual like YouTube content creators. Like, come up with your own tier list. Do your own Game Awards. Like, there is no one that says Game Awards is like the number one like authority on games. Like, you just have to get another award ceremony or another creator or what. I mean, like, everybody has their own like tier list that people can vote on. So like, we just need to do more community driven stuff like that.
Speaking of Call of Duty, let's go Scorched Earth.
To the script, No 8-minute speech like last year, but
So he did bring it up. I didn't watch the whole video. He did bring it up. Okay.
in fact, my speech was actually longer than this year's Call of Duty campaign. What?
Now, while I'm deducting
Yes, that's not a joke or that it shouldn't be that way, Chris Judge. It shouldn't be that way. You shouldn't have like, granted what I said earlier, but on the other hand, like, you should be self-aware enough that you're like, oh man, I'm at a big event and there are other creators here. I gotta say what I need to say and get off the stage really fast. But nah, dude, you sat up there and showboated for 8 minutes. Fuck you, dude.
points for his delivery, this joke was well worth saying, and honestly, I thought it would just live and die in the moment. It's Call of Duty, after all. Everyone knows the state of the game. Everyone knows that Activision treats it like an EA Sports game. Call of Duty is the poster child for everything going wrong in the gaming industry. Their battle passes literally have battle passes. Their Fortnite-ification is destroying player immersion by including skins from The Boys, Kevin Durant, Lilith from Diablo, and hell, you just want to be a bunch of cats? However, their most egregious act yet was the release of Modern Warfare 3, a game so obviously half-baked that you could tell it was meant to be an expansion, not a full-price $70 game. Where even at one point, players went to go to play the game and were asked to insert the Modern Warfare 2 disc. But it seems like Judge's joke hit a soft spot with a few Call of Duty developers, and they felt like they needed to speak out in some now-deleted tweets. Former Call of Duty developer Ajinkya Lamai tweeted saying, "Funny, but yeah, the metrics that Call of Duty absolutely destroys God of War games, probably combined TBH," followed by Associate Art Director.
Wow. What a shit take. Yeah, because Call of Duty is kind of universal and everybody has played it at one point or another, whereas God of War is kind of a niche title that it was really big on the PlayStation 4, but like back in the day, man, like if you weren't into Greek mythology or action games, I had friends that didn't play God of War. Like it wasn't everybody's cup of tea.
Nelson Plumey saying, "Imagine having
whereas, most people can get down with first-person shooters.
User engagement once your game is consumed. Can't relate. This is the most mask-off, unaware thing that I've read in a long time."
Imagine having short user. Okay,
Consumed.
I guess I'm like trying to figure out why he used the dollar symbol.
Can't relate. This is the most mask-off, unaware thing that I've read in a long time. Metrics. Don't you guys just love hearing about metrics? How the developers only care about the plots on a graph, the revenue extracted, rather than how much enjoyment the players receive from playing the game that they made?
Love that.
Doesn't that just warm the heart? This is something that I would more expect to hear from the people above them, not the actual developers themselves. It's just disgusting. The lack of awareness of the fact that you guys have a game that you have to put out every single year to even keep that engagement up in the first place. Meanwhile, Fortnite made one game. What are you doing?
Well, they do release like expansions all the time, or like, never mind. They're not directly comparable, but I get what he's trying to say.
Even to go further than that, imagine having short user engagement once your game.
I mean, like, what about shit? What game was I playing the other day? I mean, Psychonauts. What about Psychonauts that has like, it is a very good, competent game. It's from like 20 years ago at this point, and it's a pretty good community. Kingdom Hearts. It has 9 games as opposed to like the 20 on the Call of Duty roster.
Game is consumed. Can't relate. No, you actually can't relate because God of War is an actual good single player experience, whereas Modern Warfare 3 isn't. I want to point out a now deleted tweet from another.
I will keep my controversial opinion to myself.
Call of Duty developer Darcy Sandel, who said, "Honestly, as COD developers, we've heard way worse, but we don't expect this from a peer at an event that's."
If you want to know about my controversial God of War opinion, you can comment down below.
Supposed to be celebrating this year's achievements in gaming, especially with all the information that was leaked about its development. After receiving harsh comments and threats, she deleted the tweet and later responded saying, "But I stand by this completely. The chronic overworking, brutal deadlines, and ruthless layoffs that are completely rampant in our industry."
For the sake of abuse.
I stand by this completely. The chronic overworking, brutal deadlines, and ruthless layoffs that are completely rampant in our industry in the name of making profit, regardless of human cost,
That was a little late,
is an absolute disgrace. Also, I should apologize to Chris Judge. There's a good chance that those words were not his, and I should have considered that sooner. And to call out big companies on a public stage is an absolutely terrifying thing to do.
No, that was a very off-the-cuff thing to say. Like, Those were his words. He was joking about how long his speech was.
It is not his responsibility. To be honest, when I saw her initial tweet, I wanted to be reactionary because, well, that's how I can be sometimes. I think that's how we all can be sometimes.
Yes.
But when I went later to go check for the tweet and it was gone, and then I saw her later responses, a lot of things started to make sense. And one of the things that needs to be taken away is looking at Judge's joke. It's something that needs to happen. Whether it's developers, publishers, studios, voice actors, whoever, they need to have the ability to speak up about work conditions in the industry. They need to be able to speak up about the quality of games that are being delivered to the customer. And if they're not able to do that, then nothing ever gets better. This year was still special because the games that received awards were games that actually provided value to the players. They were games that actually respected the players. They were games that were made by people that cared about what they did, that put their heart and soul into it. And we saw that. We saw it on stage for what little time we got to see. We also saw that throughout the year as they released the games and also any other information around the games and their development before they put that game out. I hate to say it, but Chris's joke and the physical awards that were given were the best part of this. I really wish there was more to it. There could have been more value pulled from this year's Game Awards, especially talking...
I don't know, man. That like snippet of Jeff and Gonzo that I could swear is from last year was like the cutest thing ever.
Talking about working conditions in the industry, especially talking about all the layoffs that they've had this year. But more than anything, putting the focus on this is what great games are. This is how successful games are made today. It's not microtransactions. It's not battle passes. It's just people putting their heart and soul into something that they love, and then the players connect with it. We resonate with it, and we enjoy it. And as a result, well, it becomes Game of the Year. Anyway, hope you guys dig the video. If you guys enjoyed it, drop a comment down below.
Okay, but like... last year's Game of the Year was Elden Ring. It's not like it's not like they don't give credit to games that people enjoy as popular and that, you know, have strong community fan bases and that, you know, go above and beyond. Last year's was Elden Ring. This year is Baldur's Gate 3. It's more just they keep playing too many advertisements and then they do shitty things to the developers and the creators. Like, I don't have a problem with Chris Judge making a joke like that. The developers that are butthurt, they need to, like, really sit and be introspective for a few minutes and see if their reaction is justified. And I think they will find that it is not. But that is all the time I have today. Thank you for sitting and watching this video with me and letting me kind of ramble on about it. If you liked it, like it. Help it get it shared around to other people's in the algorithm. If you want to sub. If you don't. Hope you have a good day. Christmas is soon. Silent Hill for Christmas. Bye now. I forgot to say to go check out Legendary Drops and show him some love. Even though he's a bigger channel than me and I'm super small and I could use the love too. But yeah, go show him some love. Bye.